It's actually pretty crazy. There's 4 rounds left. So I just want to say a big thank you to all of you guys that have stuck around for the whole season, that have watched me from the start. If you've joined me this year and watched most of the videos, I really appreciate you guys. Channel's only going to get bigger and better, and this community is going to get bigger and better as well as we go along. I've just noticed the views have dropped down a little bit this week, and that makes complete sense after what happened in the last couple of weeks. Most people are running out of trades now, so if you're one of those guys that have run out of trades and are still watching all the way through the end, I do really appreciate that. In this video, we're going to be going through a little bit of a potential buys. So we're going to go through a lot of the price position and the prices and positions there of those lower ones. I've had a few people asking me, who can I pick up under 400k in the 400 to 500 range, 500 to 600. So just going to generally go through a bunch of the different options, but most of these guys that I'm suggesting, it's only if you've got an injury. You know, if you need, just say you've got Jerome Hughes and you're looking to, you need him in your 17, or you need a decent playing player, then this could be more the video for you. And then obviously a few of the potential options as well, I'll pop into footy stats and we'll go from there, as well as some potential sells as well, which we'll finish that off with. But we'll start off with Dykesy. Obviously the 14 last week, he looked pretty solid actually, to be honest with you. I watched him live and he looked really nice, at a nice gait. Big guy, like 6'2", 6'3" type of player. And I think that in a game where it's a little bit more free flowing, I think he'll be able to get a little bit more out of it. So if you want to, you can go for him now up against the Tigers, and I think he can have a better run for it this week, since he's he had the 4 errors last week. There's a few things that didn't go his way, so I think this could be the one that he definitely improves. But if you need someone at that real dirt cheap 220 and they can play in the wing fullbacks, then he would be your guy this week. I would say go up a little bit higher now. There's potentially a couple of cheaper guys that could work out for you, and one of them kicks off with, where is he? Someone here that's half right. Then we have guys like Freeban or Freebarn, if anyone can tell me how to say it. Edwards from the Dogs, so he gets his chance in on the interchange this week. If you're looking for someone with just one decent score, then I think you can get that from Edwards this week. We should see TPG back next week, considering he had to rush to the hospital for his wife, who is expecting their second child, I believe. So I could be completely wrong there, but she's definitely about to give birth, so that's why he's out this week. You got Hopewadi, who I don't think he's going to get a massive score, playing on the wing there, similar to Hamiso. I think Freeban or Freebarn's the interesting one here at 250. He got the 45 last week and good minutes, so I think that could happen again this week, and somewhere between that 35 to 45 points could work nicely for him. So if you want someone at 250 for this week that might keep his spot and has dual position for the rest of the year, then he could be your guy. If we're looking up, we've obviously spoken about guys like Jamin Salmon, who are going to be a little bit more expensive. You got Trebojevic, who's named in the 22. Matt Croker this week's in the 13. I wouldn't be looking to play with him, for example. Tomorrow Martin's back. You got Jake Arthur, who is another sneaky one as well. Obviously scored, played well last week. Anyway, we'll pop him in there and speak about a few of these guys. Jake Arthur at 282. So obviously had a couple of try assists last week, which was lovely. But the main issue there was the scoring of 38 was okay. 21 tackles for 4 misses. Didn't have many run meters, but decent effort on the kick meter side of the ball, which was lovely. And if you need someone to get somewhere around that 30 to 40, then Arthur could be your guy in that half position. If you're looking to cover someone like Hughesy, we'll go for Salmon as well. A few people mentioned that Curdy Falls, it looks like only a minor injury to him and he could come back. Yes, that's true, but I think that because he played really well, there's a great chance that he just keeps his spot, Salmon. And you can see, obviously, he's played a lot off the interchange this year and finally got his opportunity to play the 80 minutes. And, 26 tackles for 1 miss, ran the ball, did a little bit of kicking and scored a try. I don't see that any reason. It's not like, I think if Falsey was way ahead of Salmon in the race to get this spot, then he would come straight back in after the injury. But because I think they're very neck and neck as to who can play that role, Salmon's more of a runner of the footy than what Falls is. I think that it's worth it for him to keep his spot. I don't see, unless he plays an absolute shocker game this week, which, stuffs you around anyway with this scoring, that Falls could take over that spot. I think you're going to be fine. So 298 is obviously slightly more expensive than you'd probably want, but I still think it's okay to plug him in there. And you got Braden Trindle. Looks like he'll get his spot again this week, but still not one that we're looking to pop in our sides. Cooper Johns had a great game as well, but at 285, it looks like it's anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks. If it's 3 weeks, it's great. You're going to get a good couple of scores out of him, but any lower than that, Hughesy will come back and Johnsy will be out of the team. So that's the main worry there. Chris Lewis, I'd probably try to avoid in terms of playing him or picking him up, just at 300k. Now, if you're picking up guys in this stage here, anywhere in the 300s, it's a little bit of an annoying price. You're not really getting a downgrade to upgrade elsewhere, for example. So I think it's not the best idea. All right, let's just keep scrolling up. This is the easiest way to do it, guys. Just have a little scroll up, look at a guy and go, oh, is he a chance of scoring decently this week? There's a few guys that can always sneak through the cracks, and especially based on price, they can up and down through the year. They could be out of your price range earlier, have a few lighter games and be down in your price range. So guys like Naden and stuff are going to look to miss out on. You got Jock Madden, obviously got 37 last week, so he's a sneaky one as well in that half position that could score pretty well now that he'll be playing for the rest of the season next to Dewey, for example. That's that. You got Brodie Jones back on an edge, but again, probably looking to score 35 to 40. So that would be that there. You got Chris Smith for the Panthers that I'd be avoiding as well. Xavier Coates is a no. These guys here, McIntyre again, is a no. Tanua Brown not scoring well enough, for example. Kenny, Neem, Valmanu Browns obviously is scoring okay, averaging 31, picked up 38 points last week. Still another guy that's probably too expensive. Do you want to bring him in to be able to play on a week-to-week basis? As I said, if you're looking just for one score this week, then go right to the bottom. If you're looking for 4 decent weeks, somewhere in the 30 to 45 range, and not many of these guys are of decent ilk and a decent option for your side. Foran's back, I wouldn't be looking to touch him. He's had a couple of good games. Kapoa has been solid, but again, 32 average. Did have a big game last week. Could do it again, but up against the Sharks, I would doubt it. Lockie Ilias to stay away from. A few people asking about Dejan Arce, so he's averaging 35. So if he can keep that spot, then he could be a solid one. And the center or wing fullback, I had a couple of people ask about him. We spoke about him in that video last night with Scoops. If you haven't checked that one out yet, jump in and have a crack at that one. If you can watch all the videos, that would be awesome. Especially these couple here are really, really important for your teams and your final trades there. Seyfarth again looks like he's earned his spot now. Garner's back on the emergencies and in the reserves there. So if Seyfarth can keep getting the big minutes, then he should be able to average 40 plus for you and have the odd real big game. So that 45 was a bit of a lower one for him, to be honest with you. If you're looking at his stats there, he's been scoring really well in those big minutes. So he's an interesting one at 433. If you need someone as a straight swap for one of your mid-ranges and you're looking for a better score than a 25 or 30, then I think Seyfarth can do that job. It does come with a little bit of risk. These guys here, again, not too much excitement. Wade Graham's had a few better games of recent time, 50, 59, and looks like he's getting some good minutes there as well, and just playing a lot better since he's finally getting some good game time. He's had too many games where he's had plenty of matches off with the head knocks and stuff like that, so good to see him back at it. Penasini's been scoring solidly. So he had a couple of lighter games, and now he's back at it. And now we're moving to that range of like the Kohler and the Savage and these types of players. So again, they're solid ones, but you're probably looking to not play them. So this is where if you can make that small upgrade with one of those guys, then it could be the way to go. You got Fanuka, McLean, and also Lodge, all solid. Again, you're not really looking to pick them up. You got Suali'i, who is a solid one. Gilbert's looking like his minutes are going to be dropped a little bit for Tala Mariner. A little bit average there in the 13 role, for example. Again, Talakai, Egan, just all that real low 40 types of players. So all these guys can do a job for you. Do you want them playing each and every week? Not exactly sure. You got Brandon Smith, who obviously had a 48, and he has an opportunity to score somewhere in the mid-40s. Lay Lewis is an interesting one. So looking to get 50-odd minutes off the bench, anywhere between 37 and a 50-odd, I think he can get on a weekly basis. So somewhere around an average of 40, 45 would be good. Dearden's playing solidly. Crichton, if you need that centre or wing fullback, will play a little bit better than he had been through that middle, just for the fact that he's going to be back goal kicking again. And that gives him an extra, 6 to 10 points on a regular basis. So he was about a 30-ish point player. He can be closer to a 40 average now. Going forward, so again, he's a solid one if you need one of those guys. Tuolangi's having a great run, so he's obviously averaging in the high 40s of recent times. So he's a solid one at 537. Fanua Blake, he's down there low, isn't he? Fodawaker's okay. Curran at 547 is a sneaky one. If he can play close to 80 minutes over the next month, he could score really well. And we know he finished the year great, along with Ewan Aitken last year. Will that happen? Not exactly sure. You got Ramian, who's coming off a couple of lighter games. So he could, again, come out and dominate for a small period. You got Verrills, mid-40s to 50. at a regular basis in that hooker position if you need some cover there. He's been scoring better than what Reedy has, that's for sure. And if you're looking up a bit higher, Nat Butcher at 574 is a great pickup if you're needing him or someone in that position this week. Hunt, To'o, both solid. I'm a bit worried with To'o at the moment. That 25 without the big lads and playing on the right is a little bit annoying. So if you're holding him if you own him, but I don't think you're buying him. Torpany at 586. It looks like, again, he should be able to lock down that edge position, but TPJ is coming back next week. Will he just take someone like Edwards' position on the bench, or will he take Torpany's in on that edge, or will Raymond move back to the edge and TPJ back to the middle? That is the only real worry with Torpany. If we're looking along the lines here, we got Karaz, probably a little bit too expensive to pick up. Jackson, again, these kind of the guys now that we're looking at potentially holding. So guys like Taumalolo, I think, is a bit more of a sell than McInnes is this week, just because I think the minutes aren't going to increase from Taumalolo, and we know that McInnes can score somewhere between that 45 to 50 on a consistent basis, where Taumalolo can kill you every second week with a 30 odd with that sort of 45 to 50 minutes, and then some weeks if he gets some attacking stats he can come out and dominate. So I'd say if you could get a hooker, I would be trading out Reedy at the same level that I would trade out Taumalolo. So they're both interesting ones for me as to what I'm going to do this week. Try and get a Cotter, for example. Having the 3 trades is going to be an interesting one. If I try and remove Husey, who hasn't even been scoring that great, do I go a downgrade with Husey and an upgrade with a Collar or a Savage potentially? Or do we upgrade a Taumalolo? Not too sure, but that's kind of the things we're thinking of there. The kind of the sells in my team anyway. Harris is a hold, guys, if you're thinking about him. Elliott, definite hold. Savage could come back and score solidly. He comes up against the Dragons, so I'm probably going to play him this week over Kohler potentially. But again, against the Titans, it's a bit of a flip of a coin, that one. And we'll try and, if I'm holding Hughes, we definitely will try and loop that one. All right, moving back. Aiken's a hold, guys. I wouldn't look to bring him in. Drinkwater, same deal. Could come out and score well. Clarkey, do you just hold and hope that he gets 80 minutes? That's probably the way to go. You got guys like Cobbo, Rudolph, Max King, all just holds at this point. Garrick, I still think is a hold this week, guys. If you're looking at him or looking to move him on, it's probably not worth it. He comes up against the Titans, and I think he can do pretty well. O'Sullivan at that cheaper price is still a decent buy. Brayley, okay, a bit of a hold. Fogs as well, a bit of a lighter game. Dylan Brown, if you need that cheaper guy, a 669 should dominate the last month for the Eels if they play pretty well also. And for Feeder, 670. Both guys that could come out and average 60 for the last 4 rounds, I think for sure. Crichton's definitely a hold from here. Whoops. Holmesy, definite potential pickup, but again, you need him to average about 50. And could Burton or Manu do that? Could Aiken do that? That's up to you. Olakwatu is going to be solid. I think Cotter's a great buy this week, considering he can cover that hooker position as well. If you're sitting there only with Cook or only with Harry Grant, Harry's obviously a great pickup. Madison scoring okay recent time. I'd be looking to hold him, not buy, and definitely potential as a sell. Nanai had a great run, had a light game last week. I think you definitely hold on to him. Reece Robson, still a great buy. Obviously, the lighter week of 45. I still think he's fine. Isaiah Yeo is a great pickup now. He's dropped down a little bit in price and should score pretty well, seeing some big minutes from here on in. Offengawe and Lane, also great options this week. I won't pick up Lane for that fella that messaged me saying that I'd be cursing him, so stop talking about him. But I talk about him each week as how well he's been playing. I won't pick him up, though. DCE's dropped a bit in price. You could probably wait one more week if you wanted to, but this could be the week that he goes absolutely bonkers against Titans. It's a sneaky pod captaincy option that could get close to 100. And then we're right to the top now, and Cam Murray is the clear best buy of the week. Main issue is how expensive he is, so I'd be looking to get him if I'm doing a downgrade upgrade. He's the guy I'm targeting this week. And if I'm getting rid of a Taumalolo, for example, then Murray is that man. And obviously Cotter is the other one that's pretty solid that will cover the hooking position as well. But yeah, definitely won't be able to get both, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So that is generally that buy hold video, a buy hold sell video, guys. Guys like Dewey obviously are clear buys if you're looking at my side. Munster's a great one as well if you don't want to go as expensive. Munster, DCE, still that same level, very much the same price as well. Pole, he's going to be back to the bench, so I'm probably looking to not play him this week. Bird, still a clear buy. If you don't own Burton, I'd be looking to get him. He's the best player in that centre position. Payne Haas, still a great option this week. Hopefully a 60 plus for him. Cookie's still a good captaincy option. I'm probably going to stick with Hines as captain. Elliott's still a solid one. Would you bring him in this week? Yeah, why not? Like, he's averaging way higher than 50 and he's priced at the 50. So he's still a good buy. And Latrell's a sneaky one as well. Obviously, that just be aware that he could get that 30 odd and then get the 80. So hopefully he gets 2 good ones and 2 average ones over the next 4 weeks. And he hits like that 50 odd average. But yeah, interesting this week, guys. That was a slightly different buy, hold, and sell. We did speak about a bunch of these guys in the video with Scoop that we made last night. So check out both of those. But that one was a little bit more about answering questions and going through a few teams. And I still will do another one myself, answering some questions and also analyzing some of your teams as well. But I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Please like and subscribe if you are new. Thank you for being here, and we'll catch you in those next few videos, guys. Have a great day.